Recently, a large-scale protest broke out in Qiongzhong, Hainan Province, China. The public expressed dissatisfaction with a major state-owned enterprise that cut down thousands of betel nut trees belonging to local farmers. The protesters surrounded the enterprise building, removed signs, and overturned several vehicles. A large number of police officers were deployed to maintain order. The police fired warning shots multiple times, and the protest scenes became intense and difficult to control. Public opinion quickly spread, but was later entirely deleted by authorities. Look at what atrocities Hainan Natural Rubber Industry Group is committing.
It's not something anyone should be doing. You don't deserve to serve the country and the people. There is no way to join the revolution. Down with the bandits' liar. Down with the Haijiao. People from every town and village have come here. They're here to support the protest. The common folks just want to live. You can't bully the farmers. Not on our watch. You'll see the consequences if you mess with us, Hainan people.
Footage captured by online users shows local farmers in Qiongzhong, Hainan Province on the morning of October 31st piling the felled betel nut trees in front of the Hainan Natural Rubber Industry, often referred to as Haijiao, Jia Cai branch building, as part of their protest demanding an explanation. The news spread rapidly through social media, prompting people from various towns in Qiongzhong County, as well as from cities such as Danzhou, Baisha, and Wuzhishan to drive to Jiacai to show solidarity with the protesting villagers surrounding the Haijiao Group building. The police deployed a large number of officers, including Riot police with shields, and blocked the roads leading into the village to prevent vehicles from entering. By evening, the protesters called the Jiacai branch of Haijiao Group a den of bandits, and threw stones, chairs, and other objects at company personnel and Riot police. As night fell, the protest escalated, with people overturning several vehicles in front of the building, and some climbed onto the roof to destroy the company's signage, prompting cheers from the crowd. Videos circulating online showed that Haijiao Group personnel were trapped inside the building on the evening of October 31st. Officers blocked these protesters, while special police used shields and umbrellas to protect company staff from projectiles, helping them evacuate the building. The police fired warning shots several times during the incident, further heightening the already intense atmosphere and increasing the anger of the villagers. The protest ended around 1 a.m. the following day. The entire Haijiao office area was left in disarray. Broken betel nut and rubber trees were scattered across the ground, overturned vehicles laying in the muddy dirt. The office building's glass was shattered, and debris and stones were scattered everywhere. In the early hours of November 1st, the Qiongzhong County government formed a joint investigation team, stating that the incident was a historical land ownership dispute and emphasizing that there were no casualties and the situation was stable. On the same day, Haijiao Group argued that the betel nut trees were cut down because the land was within the company's designated area, and the farmers had been illegally occupying the land for a long time. They claimed they had notified the farmers several times to sign a lease and pay rent, but since no agreement was reached, they had to legally remove non-rubber crops. However, the villagers did not accept this explanation. A villager familiar with the situation posted a video stating, "Everyone's been seeing this video lately. The Haijiao Group chopped down 1,000 betel nut trees belonging to farmers in Qiongzhong, Hainan, late at night. What's more infuriating about this whole situation is that Haijiao says the land is theirs. But why didn't they cut the trees earlier or later? Why wait until the trees were almost ready to bear fruit? As someone from Ledong, Hainan, I know exactly how Hainan farmers have worked so hard to grow betel nuts in recent years. Many farmers don't have the funds to start, so what do? They work part-time using that money to buy seedlings, fertilizers, and pesticides, and it takes 4 to 5 years to care before the trees start flowering and bearing fruit, bringing in some income. Now, just overnight, they've chopped down trees that were about to bear fruit. What does that mean? It's like taking away their life. All the hard work from the past few years and the income they're expecting for the next 30 plus years. What are you doing if not taking their life? You've already pushed these people to the edge, and now you're blaming them for fighting back? This incident has sparked so much attention and discussion, not just because Haijiao handled the issue in such an extreme way, but also because incidents like this, cutting down trees in the middle of the night, have already happened more than once in Hainan. I really hope the relevant authorities can properly handle this issue and give us clear guidance. Some villagers believe that Qiongzhong County is an ethnic minority area, and while Haijiao Group was only established in March 2005, the Li people have been living and thriving in Qiongzhong for over 3,000 years. Although the Miao people arrived later, they have a history of over 300 years. Many villagers question how a company established in 2005 could claim ownership of local land. During the conflict, local villagers presented land certificates to refute the company's claim of illegal occupation. Many villagers believe that the company's aggressive actions were supported or even colluded with by the local government. The actions of this large state-owned enterprise cutting down farmers' betel nut plantations have been compared to the behavior of a local bandit group, completely disregarding the rule of law and basic moral standards. A lawyer posted a video stating, just like that, the betel nut trees that were about to bear fruit were chopped down overnight, and now the question is, how can we protect the farmers' rights? Our Beijing lawyer team has been on a business trip in Hainan for a case these past few days. A friend reached out to lawyer Yu saying that some companies chopped down all the betel nut trees without agreeing to any compensation or negotiation, and they even claimed the land was theirs. Yu wants to make it very clear to everyone, farmers' crops legally grown on their land are their personal property and are protected by law. No matter who the other party is, how tough their attitude is, or what reason they use for the forced tree cutting, it's still an infringement on farmers' property rights. Our farmers' crops, no matter the land ownership dispute, can't just be removed like that. So, if you face this kind of situation, you have the right, according to the law, to demand compensation for the damages and hold the wrongdoers accountable, protecting your rights. A villager who participated in the protest spoke to overseas media on November 1st. He stated that while the land belongs to Hainan Rubber Company, the farmers had been cultivating it for over 10 years and held land lease certificates. The company had only recently decided to reclaim the land. There were at least several hundred villagers on site yesterday, and at least 10,000 people came to watch the events unfold. The villagers demanded that the county government intervene. Last night, 5 or 6 vehicles were overturned and destroyed. The protests continued until around 3 or 4 in the morning, and are left after that. It didn't matter how many officials the county government sent, the people in the village were determined to escalate the situation. The police and special forces arrived with over 100 officers. The farmers were not afraid. The authorities didn't dare arrest anyone, and I haven't heard of any arrest being made. The most intense moment was between 9:10 and 9:20 p.m. last night, when the villagers were very united and determined. I didn't participate. I was just there filming the video. He added, villagers plant betel nut because they are valuable. A well-maintained betel nut tree can earn 2,000 yuan per year. With over 1,000 trees, imagine how much they could make. Last year's price was around 40 to 50 yuan per kilogram. But this year, the purchase price is only 18 to 20 yuan per kilogram. It takes at least 7 years for betel nut trees to bear fruit. The villagers explained that the point of conflict was that the company wanted to reclaim the land for rubber planting under the unified plan, but villagers preferred to grow betel nuts because it was more profitable. As a result, the company decided to cut down the trees. A user on X, quoting a report disclosed out November 1st after mediation by the local government, the villagers received 588,000 yuan in compensation and 100,000 yuan for replanting cost. This is one of the rare instances where the Chinese government was forced to make concessions under public pressure, highlighting that grassroots collective action can be more powerful than any external pressure. Public records show that Hainan Natural Rubber Industry Group, Hainan Rubber, is a state-owned enterprise in China, established in March 2005. It was listed on the Shanghai Stock Exchange on January 7, 2011. It is the only natural rubber company in China with a full industry chain listed on the capital markets and is also the world's largest multinational group integrating natural rubber research, planting, processing, and trade. Rumors suggest that the protest in Hainan has attracted the attention of the highest levels of the Chinese Communist Party. According to an expose by Du Wen, former executive director of the Inner Mongolia Government Legal Affairs Office, the sudden farmers' protest quickly reached the ears of Xi Jinping. At the time, she was in Jeonju, South Korea for a diplomatic event. It is reported that Xi urgently cancelled his scheduled appearance at the Asia Pacific Economic Cooperation Business Leader Summit and instead focused on receiving a report about the unrest in Hainan. The planned speech at the summit was abruptly changed to a written statement. It is said that Xi Jinping was furious upon learning on the situation in Qiongzhong, Hainan, and instructed the Hainan Provincial Party Committee to swiftly stabilize the situation and hold those responsible accountable. While preventing the incident from spreading, he also requested that the General Office of the Central Committee and the Hainan Provincial Party Committee report the details immediately. That evening, Hainan authorities held an emergency closed-door meeting where the details of the incident were shared and an emphasis was placed on preventing the situation from escalating. It is reported that several officials from Haijiao Group have been dismissed and are under investigation. Meanwhile, the Chinese Cyberspace Administration quickly intervened, and social media platforms in Hainan and across the country deleted posts and videos containing keywords such as Qiongzhong, Haijiao, gunshots, and protests within hours, with the level of censorship exceeding previous efforts. The ongoing economic downturn, high-pressure governance, and the collapse of social trust have led to the continued deterioration of people's livelihoods in mainland China. Speech controls are tightening, the quality of public services is sharply declining, and public discontent is growing. Recently, multiple land dispute incidents have erupted across mainland China involving issues such as forced land occupation, lack of compensation, and government inaction. In regions such as Hubei, Guangdong, and Jiangxi, villagers have struggled to protect their rights for extended periods without success. These social conflicts are once again coming to the forefront. From October 27 to 28, a collective protest occurred in Tongguan Village, Zhaoqing City, Guangdong Province. The post indicated that the villagers' actions was to prevent external construction from damaging their land. Videos show villagers setting up roadblocks at the village entrance and guarding the area around the clock, creating a tense atmosphere. With the Chinese Communist Party's political and economic crisis deepening, social tensions are intensifying. Recently, anti-communist slogans have appeared in multiple regions of mainland China demanding Xi Jinping step down and dictatorial tyranny. On October 31st, an ex-user posted an article stating that warriors challenging the Chinese Communist Party are everywhere, and the CCP is on high alert, seeing threats in every corner. The post read, "Everyone will die, but not everyone truly lives," and paid tribute to those brave individuals on the front lines, resisting the CCP's tyranny. It emphasized, "There is only tyranny, not thugs. The people are innocent. Long live freedom." The post was accompanied by several images of anti-communist slogans. One of the image showed a person posting a slogan on the signs of the Suiping County Qingyang Police Station in Zhumandian City, Hainan Province. The slogan read, "Xi Jinping step down. End dictatorial tyranny. CCP step down. Stop human rights persecution." Shortly after the conclusion of the 20th CCP Central Committee's fourth plenary session on October 25th, two anti-communist banners were hung on the streets of Shanlingtun, Beijing. The slogans read, "The essence of the Communist Party is an anti-human, anti-humanity cult, and it will bring endless disaster to China." And lift the party ban, allow freedom to form political parties, free competition, free choice, and establish a new China based on freedom, humanity, and the rule of law. Although the banners were quickly removed, their appearance caused a significant stir in public opinion. Some netizens expressed that the reason for such angry outbursts from the public is that they see how unbearable society has become. This is not the first time anti-communist slogans have appeared on the streets of Beijing. On October 13, 2022, just 3 days before the 20th CCP National Congress, anti-communist activist Pen Lifa hung two large white banners with red text on Shitong Bridge in Beijing. The slogans read, We don't want nucleic acid testing, we want food. We don't want lockdowns, we want freedom. We don't want lies, we want dignity. We don't want the cultural revolution, we want reform. We don't want a leader, we want votes. Don't be a slave, be a citizen. And strike, protest, remove the dictator and national traitor Xi Jinping. Meanwhile, in present-day China, the real estate market remains sluggish, with housing prices plummeting and significant discounts being offered. In cities like Guangzhou, Wuhan, and Shenzhen, property owners have been destroying sales offices and surrounding developers protesting the discounted sales of new homes that have caused the depreciation of existing property values. On August 19th this year, a Guangdong netizen reported that the price of new homes at Phase 2 of Tang'an Garden near Tianhe Park in Guangzhou suddenly dropped, prompting homeowners to gather at the sales office to protest. Images provided by netizens showed a large crowd of longtime homeowners at the sales office expressing their dissatisfaction. Just a year ago, the price per square meter of the property was over 40,000 yuan, but it had fallen to below 20,000 yuan, a drop of more than 50%. Public data shows that the average price of second-hand homes in the area that month was around 16,000 yuan per square meter, confirming the significant price decline. From August 25th to 26th, the owners of commercial properties in the Easy Home shopping complex in Enshi, Hubei Province, launched a collective rights protection campaign due to years of unpaid rent. Hundreds of property owners gathered at the mall to protest, and police were dispatched to maintain order. Chinese citizens are facing multiple challenges, including an economic downturn, unemployment, local debt crisis, and high living costs. As a result, people's lives have become increasingly difficult and public discontent has erupted. According to research by China Dissent Monitor, a subsidiary of Freedom House, protest events in China have been on the rise over the past 2 years. Since data collection began in June 2022, China Dissent Monitor has recorded 12,331 protest events. In the third quarter of 2025 alone, 1,392 protest events was recorded, marking a 45% increase compared to the same period in 2024. And this is the sixth consecutive quarter of year-on-year growth. The report indicates that the majority of protests in the third quarter were led by workers, 38%, property owners, 29%, and villagers, 15%, with other groups including parents, students, investors, consumers, religious minorities, and activists also contributing. The province with the most protests was Guangdong, 16%, followed by Henan, Hunan, Hebei, and Shandong. Schools have increasingly become common sites for protests, with concerns over campus safety sparking large-scale demonstrations. In August this year, a brutal bullying incident occurred at a school in Jiangyu City, Sichuan Province. The authorities handling the case and their attempts to suppress protests led to public dissatisfaction. The situation eventually escalated into a large street demonstration, with participants chanting slogans such as "Against bullying" and "Give me democracy." However, the protest was eventually suppressed by the authorities. On the social media platform X, data from Chinese Dissent Monitor sparked heated discussions among netizens. China under the surface is teeming with undercurrents. The Communist Party is pushing the Chinese people to the brink. If we can't survive, we will have no choice but to rise up in resistance. Breaking the Great Firewall would trigger a nationwide revolt, and the CCP would collapse without a fight. What's good about a country where even labor wages can't be earned? In addition to these protests driven by personal interests, in recent years, an increasing number of protest events have been aimed directly at the CCP, focusing on the nation's and the people's collective struggles. On October 1st, 2025, more than 20 citizens gathered at Jingshanwan Square in Shilong Town, Dongguan City, Guangdong Province. They held up a prominent banner and raised their voices in protest, demanding a country based on human rights, democracy, and freedom. One of China's most critical issues today is the intensifying conflict between the government and the public. Overseas commenter Wang He stated, "China's rapid economic growth in the past could cover up many conflicts. But once the economy faces problems, when the public's income declines and even basic survival becomes an issue, the general population's trust in the CCP government has deteriorated into extreme resentment. This will lead to social unrest and fiercer internal political struggles within the CCP, potentially causing a loss of control over the political situation. In turn, this will exacerbate social tensions, further damage the economy, and accelerate political instability."